What I was going to write your card about a couple of great new podcasts that we've got, but we'll do that a little bit later. Let's talk about returning to sporting events. Yesterday, a few lucky people were back in the Crucible for the first day of the World Snooker Championship. 5,000 people are going to be in Wembley for the FA Cup semi-final, up almost 5,000, I think, between Leicester City and Southampton this evening. We've already been covering that. Both are part of these range of pilot events taking place around the country to see if we can get people back into these large-scale events without leading to an increase in COVID infections. Tickets for Wembley today have been restricted to people who live locally and to key workers as well. We are joined by two lucky locals who are looking forward to seeing some live sports. Stephanie's with us. Morning, Stephanie.
Morning.
Good morning. You got tickets because you lived locally. And Ian, who's a secondary school teacher in London. Morning, Ian.
Morning.
Feeling chipper this morning, mate?
I've been a little bit groggy, if I'm honest. As I said, I'm a Norwich fan, and so yesterday got a little bit excitable.
Oh, well, you know what? First Saturday night out, Norwich promoted back to the Premier League yesterday. No, I don't think anybody's going to blame you. What are you rustling up?
No.
What are you rustling up into in the kitchen to get you back on track?
I've literally just finished a bacon bagel, and I've got a glass of orange juice, and I'm sorted.
Mate, you're absolutely grand. You'll be fine. So look, tell us about what you're looking forward to today. How did you get tickets?
Of course, that's me. It's Stephanie.
Oh, it's Ian. It's you.
Oh, right, sorry. So I'm just looking forward to going back to a game. Like, the last time I went to a massive stadium was to watch Norwich beat Spurs on a penalty shootout in the FA Cup, which was now about 13 or 14 months ago. I just can't wait to get back and have a crowd and have a game and just the atmosphere. Like, I think it's what football's been missing. I can't wait for it.
Stephanie, it's really interesting. Chris and I have been talking today about neutral matches that you've been to that have been probably some of the best sporting events that you've ever enjoyed, even though you don't have skin in the game. And that's one of the reasons you love going to live football, isn't it? Is you're not really pro anybody massively in particular, but you just love the atmosphere of live events.
Oh, yes, I do love the atmosphere of live events. I'm quite lucky, actually. Until very recently, I literally lived outside the main entrance of Wembley Stadium. And that's how I've got the ticket for today. And I just so happened to be at the last match at Wembley pre-pandemic, before crowds no longer attended. And that was the Aston Villa-Manchester City League Cup final last March.
Yeah.
And now I'm very lucky that I've secured one of the rare tickets to attend the semi-final of Leicester City and Southampton. I do have an interest in football. It's actually Manchester United, quite strangely, someone bought from Liverpool.
They might have been playing, mightn't they, today? But they lost to Leicester.
That's right. I wasn't counting my chickens. We've had some interesting games this season. But yes, I'm just so happy to be attending the game, which has got fans for the first time in almost 13 months.
Can I ask you both, and Stephanie, you first, if you've got any nerves about going today? I know that these things are all incredibly well marshalled and you'll be taking tests, etc. But just the actual feeling of being so close to so many people for the first time in a very long time. Stephanie, what about you? Have you got any nerves around that?
Oh, absolutely not. The return of fans to live events is long overdue. This is a tentative first step. There's going to be 4,000 people at Wembley today, which, of course, is a fraction of the normal approximately 90,000 which would attend Wembley Stadium. I'm looking forward to it.
What about you, Ian?
Exactly. So I've got the butterflies, but it's not about going to the game. It's not even about last night either. I've got the butterflies about getting the opportunity to be in a ground. And I don't know how spaced out we're going to be, 4,000, 90,000 capacity. Like, realistically, we could all have a tier to ourselves. But at the same time, like, I'm not worried. No, we're all taking tests beforehand. We're all taking tests to make sure that everyone's fine and safe and happy days. And, I work in a school. We've got 1,000 people who don't take tests every day. So, this is safer.
Yeah, you've done the lateral flow test, but you're not doing the PCR. Is that right?
No, but I've also got to go back and do another lateral flow test again today because I didn't get my result texted to me yesterday. So after this phone call, I've got to run to go and get another test done.
Oh my goodness, that'll be enjoyable with your nice pig hangover. What about you, Stephanie? Are you going to go for the PCR test, or are you just doing the lateral flow?
Right, as part of the event research programme, the instructions I received anyway was that I had to do a lateral flow test any time after 3:30 yesterday. So I did that over in Canary Wharf and got my result back by 4:30, which I'm glad to say was negative. But we also had to do 2 PCR tests. One, both taken at home. One I took on Friday afternoon, and that came back at 9 o'clock last night. Again, glad to say negative. And we've also been asked, as part of the research, to take a second PCR test 5 days after the events. That's next Friday, again at home, and hopefully that's going to come back negative as well.
Well, there's no shortage of testing then, is there, really? If that is the kind of the standard that they've set to make sure it's safe for everybody, they certainly seem to be on top of that, don't they?
Right.
Just in terms of what we've, what we can look forward to, though, with getting back to it. I mean, pre-match rituals. What about you, Ian? Have you got any pre-match rituals that you're going to be invoking today?
I mean, I'm going to be wearing my Norwich shirt, but it's going to have to go underneath the jumper because I don't know how allowed that's going to be. But one of the things that I'm kind of really excited about is that kind of mixing the fans like a rugby match. But no, not really. I like the bacon sandwich in the morning, which I've got. I like the orange juice. I might, if I'm feeling brave, have a pre-match pint and then just settle down into my seat and enjoy it. Maybe a Bovril at half-time.
Oh, brilliant. Well, guys, have a lovely afternoon, and thank you very much indeed for being with us on the programme today. Stephanie and Ian.
Let's talk a